What's up guys, Student Dr. Thompson here. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about the CV. Why is it so important and how just by knowing what's included or what should be included in that document will help you make decisions that will naturally create a beefy looking person, well-rounded person on paper. Okay, so a CV is just like a resume, only in academia and medicine and research and other things like that. They change the name to curriculum vitae to make themselves sound a lot fancier. But essentially a resume is just a one-page document. It states why you're applying for a certain position, and then it gives you brief information about your history, job experiences, etc. A CV doesn't have an objective, and it can be many pages. So if you've done a lot of things, you have room to tell about those different things on paper. It also goes into a lot finer detail as far as like what you did for your research or what you did as a leadership positions. And then there's tons of room to go into detail, and to prove that you are worth inviting in for an interview. Okay, so the other thing that you got to think about is that your CV defines you as far as like what your sphere or circle of influence is. With your experiences, did you reach out to your community? Did you reach out to a greater region around you, like your state or your surrounding states? Did you reach out nationally? Were you kind of involved with a bigger circle? Did you reach out internationally? Okay, so your experiences are going to tell the person reading the CV how big that circle of influence is. So think about where you're doing these experiences and how you can make your circle grow. So the first thing you put on your CV is your education. Okay, most people's education is going to look the same unless you are you qualify for honors or you've done a PhD along with your MD or your DO program. Then you're going to include research. Research as far as like what you researched. Did you publish? Were you giving lectures or poster presentations on that? You're going to go into detail about who you did research with. So make sure you're doing research with someone who's reputable in their own circle of influence. Then other important things are academic appointments. Okay, so were you a lecturer? Were you an assistant professor? In my school, after your second year of medical school, you can apply to become a fellow, which is essentially an employee of the school, and you're an assistant professor. That's an incredible experience you can put on your CV, and it really looks good, and it's high up as far as like what order of things you put in your CV. Other professional positions, like did you sit on an advisory board? Okay, so this might apply more heavily to people who have been in the profession for several years and they're applying for a new position. They're already a board certified physician, but I know, for example, a startup company that's entering, from the business side, they're entering into the medical profession, and they will need an advisory board. They will need consultants. They'll need people who are willing to do research about the product or service they want to offer. So as a student, you can think outside of the box, and you can be involved in things like that, and beef up your CV. What leadership opportunities did you serve in while you were a medical student? So previously I said that I had submitted a letter of intent to become the student body vice president, and through sheer luck I got that. So I'm now the student body vice president of my school, and that's an incredible leadership experience. But student government isn't the only thing. You can do club presidencies, club secretaries, treasurers, vice presidents. You can, if there isn't a club and you're really into ophthalmology and there isn't an ophthalmology club, you can create an ophthalmology club. You can join committees. A friend of mine through his church is a Cub Scout leader, so you can become a Cub Scout leader or something. So you're really limited by how well you can network and think outside the box. The next thing on the list is, were you on any committees? Were you a member of a committee? Were you a board? Chairman of that committee? were you part of any professional societies? The only professional society that I'm currently a part of is the Missouri Association of Osteopathic Physicians and Surgeons. So professional societies often give you benefits, or they provide a meeting place for you to accomplish a single unified goal. I've included in the description links to huge websites that just have lists and lists of medical societies, professional societies, that you can find one that you're interested in. And if it's limited to just the professionally board certified physicians of that type of society, there's often room for students to get involved. And you don't have to follow all the rules. I mean, you can kind of make up the rules, and you're limited by how willing you are to reach out and go after these types of things. And then there's, of course, honors and awards. Were you an outstanding student? Did your peers select you above someone else to become the Student Doctor of the Year? And did your club have an award for an outstanding anesthesiologist, future anesthesiologist or something in the anesthesiology club? You can make up those awards. I mean, if you're the club leader, you can start an award-giving ceremony, and those students who receive those awards can essentially put those on their CV. Okay, so what do you have to do today? Nothing. But just by knowing what is supposed to be on your CV in the coming years from now, when you are required to draft that document, just by knowing what's on that, you're going to make decisions that will naturally lead you towards having a beefier CV. You're going to have opportunities come your way, and you're going to recognize, hey, that's something that can directly go on my CV, and that will make me look better and more well-rounded on paper. Remember, you are a well-rounded person, but you've got to prove that on paper. So guys, check out those links in the description, join some medical professional societies, and start thinking about how you can beef up your CV and look well-rounded on paper. Thanks for watching, and stick around for more great videos.